She came back at 3 a.m., heels in her hand, lipstick smudged like a confession she didn't plan to make. She didn't whisper. She announced it. "We're not married yet. I can do whatever I want." I watched the door close behind her and felt something lock into place inside me. Not rage, clarity. I didn't argue. I didn't ask where she'd been. I smiled the way men do when they realize the war ended before the first shot. I went to bed and stared at the ceiling, counting breaths, memorizing the sound of my own control. We met years earlier, in a quiet season of my life. She liked that I listened. I liked that she chose me. We built routines that looked like love from the outside. Coffee the same way every morning. Friday nights on the same couch. A future spoken aloud until it felt inevitable. I trusted her because she never asked me not to. The ring came easy. The venue harder. Families, lists, expectations. She thrived in the attention. I stayed steady. I thought that was balance. I thought wrong. The changes were small. A password added to a phone that used to sit face up. Laughter that arrived late at night, not meant for me. A new word she used when she was lying. Relax. People always say it like a door slammed shut. I didn't confront her. I watched. Patterns are honest. Humans aren't. The proof came quietly. A notification she forgot to mute. A name saved as a number. The message wasn't poetic. It was efficient. Still coming over? I felt the heartbreak then, sharp, clean, but it didn't spill. I put it back where it belonged and kept moving. At 3 a.m., when she said the line she'd rehearsed for courage, I nodded. "You're right," I said. And I meant it in a way she couldn't understand yet. I didn't cancel the wedding. I postponed my reaction. I began to plan. I reviewed contracts like a man studying weather. The venue deposit? The caterer? The hotel blocks. I moved money the way chess players move pieces, quietly, legally, patiently. I made phone calls during lunch breaks. I asked neutral questions. I documented everything. Screenshots dated, receipts saved, voices recorded with consent where required. Truth doesn't need shortcuts. I told no one. Silence was my advantage. She kept acting. Late nights. Sudden trips. Apologies that arrived prepackaged. She still wore the ring. She liked how it looked in photos. I let her. The week before the wedding, she tested me. She came home late again. "You're too calm," she said, suspicious. "I trust you," I replied. That word again. She relaxed. People always do when they think they've won. The morning of the wedding arrived bright and merciless. Phones buzzed. Makeup chairs lined up. My suit hung pressed and untouched. She called, irritated. "Why are you late?" I answered on the first ring. "I'm on my honeymoon," I said. Silence, then a laugh. "What?" "With my sister," I added. "I'll explain later." I didn't raise my voice. I never do when I'm certain. She called again. I didn't pick up. I was already boarding. My sister sat beside me, confused but trusting. She knew only what she needed to know. That I needed distance. That family shows up when the story gets heavy. While the plane climbed, I sent one email. To the venue. A polite cancellation, timed within the window. Deposits recovered. While clouds slid under us, I sent another. To her parents, short, respectful, the wedding was postponed, due to personal circumstances. I thanked them for their kindness. Then I waited. She unraveled on schedule. Messages piled up. Then calls. Then threats. Then tears. She arrived at the venue alone, dress ready, story missing its groom. Guests whispered. Phones came out. Reality doesn't care about your plans. I sent the final message that afternoon. Screenshots attached. Dates circled. A timeline she couldn't argue with. I didn't accuse. I presented. Her reply came fast, long, emotional. Apologies wrapped in blame. Explanations shaped like excuses. She asked to meet. I agreed. We sat across from each other in the same cafe where we'd first pretended to be strangers. She looked smaller. I felt taller than I'd ever been. You humiliated me, she said. No, I replied. I stopped protecting you. She tried anger. It bounced off. She tried tears. They dried up on my calm. She reached for the line again. We weren't married yet. That's the point, I said. You told me who you were before it cost me my name. I slid the folder across the table. Inside was everything, proof, plans canceled. Money accounted for. A letter releasing her from any claim. Fair, clean, final. She signed. hands shaking. That night at 3 a.m., she texted again. Habit dies hard. Can we talk? I didn't reply. On the last day of my trip, I watched the ocean from a balcony and felt the quiet arrive. Not happiness, something better. Relief without bitterness. Power without noise. I didn't ruin her life. I refused to build mine on a lie. People asked later what happened. I kept it simple. It didn't work. That sentence is a mercy. She knows the rest. Sometimes I replay that night in my head. The door closing. The line she thought would free her. It did, just not the way she planned. Justice doesn't always shout. Sometimes it books a flight, answers the phone once, and never explains again.